So, I just left Bible study. And on my way, we just grabbed milkshakes. So. Oh, there goes my daughter. I'll have to send her. I'm almost home. She's gonna say that I'm almost home. So, anyways, the terrorist talking in my head. I should have screenshotted it. If she calls me again, I'm screenshotting it. I'm on my way home. The terrorists know I'm making this video, and as soon as I start making a video, they'll have people call me so that it disrupts my video. So, anyways, there are Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists talking in my head, saying, basically, I was saying, you guys just don't want to get sentenced to death, because they were saying, oh, our kids, they want their kids to inherit the money they laundered after murdering me and my daughter, and she was like, no, they're gonna die. People are gonna they're gonna want my kids to die too, and they're gonna want us all sentenced to death. And I was saying, bullshit, you stupid bitch. If the money goes back to its rightful owners and you get sentenced to death, I'm having this conversation with the stupid terrorist, psycho Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists talking in my head. And I said, you're full of shit, stupid bitch. If anything, people just want you guys sentenced to death for the murders you've committed. And we've seen it time and time again where nobody goes after the family of someone who was a killer. We didn't see it with Jeffrey Dahmer or any murderer for that matter. And so I was like, you're just full of shit. You don't want to get sentenced to death, and the reason why you're insisting that I not say anything is so that you could get away with murdering me, and you don't have to die. And basically, you don't have to die. You basically want your kids, and you don't want to die for your kids. You'd rather try to manipulate me and get me to cooperate with you, although that's not working, because nothing she says makes sense. They're playing with my head. They're rewiring my mind. That's why I'm starting to stutter. So if I don't make sense, it's because they just started rewiring my mind when I had my train of thought. Okay? So anyways, I was saying, go get sentenced to death, because you already know, stupid piece of shit, the minute that your kids turn 18, they're going to get sentenced to death if they take the money you laundered. They'll be placed on the terrorist watch list. And you're just mad because I'm explaining that I hear you in my head and I'm cornering you, and now you're going to die to have to save your kids, and they're not going to have the money. But that doesn't fucking matter to me. Why the fuck would me and my kids, I'm not going to keep quiet. They're murdering me. The terrorists talking in my head are murdering me. So one of the other women said, well, I don't have kids. And because I can't have kids, because it doesn't make sense to have kids if I'm going to get sentenced to death, then just know that you and your daughter are fucking dead, bitch. But she's already murdering me. Okay, and I'm saying all this because I'm hoping to God that bitch gets sentenced to death, and me and my daughter, so I can sentence her to death in court in front of everyone. Like, I really want to sentence that bitch to death. She's talking in my head, saying she's playing with my head like a stupid psycho piece of shit. That, okay, basically, since I can't have kids, I'll just torture you and your fucking daughter to death, and I don't give a fuck, since I can't have kids. And now I really want to make sure that I explain that I hear these terrorist, Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists talking in my fucking head, laundering money, murdering kids, murdering women, abusing men, abusing everyone to launder money. They're psychopaths. They're serial killers, and they're talking in my head, and I want them sentenced to death. they're playing with my head. He's causing me a stroke because he didn't want me to explain what I just said. And that's why I'm struggling to explain, because they don't want me to explain how disgusting the fucking women are. I want them sentenced to death in front of my very eyes. Do you hear me? I want the piece of shit talking in my head to eat shit and die. What the frick is this? So I want to make it super clear. I hear Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists talking in my head, and being that my life, me living is, her life is dependent on me not dying. I want to make it so fucking clear for the entirety of my life, or her, or the entirety of, and until I can get her sentenced to death and watch her die in front of my very eyes. They're playing with my head because she's a stupid psycho piece of shit, and may the best woman win, basically. Except I want to do it legally. I want her sentenced to death in front of everybody. And besides that, I wouldn't, like, I'd run around with a gun. I don't know who they are. I wouldn't go shoot at innocent people. That's a psycho piece of shit talking in my head. She's playing with my head and she's causing me brain damage. She wants me uncomfortable to put up this video. They're trying to force me to say things that I'm not. I'm not a violent person. I want that piece of shit sentenced to death, and I want to make it clear that it's obvious that they don't want me explaining that they're talking in my head, because there are people who are investigating them to prosecute them, that want them sentenced to death, that know that they're behind this weapon, manipulating situations, trafficking people, causing them brain damage, organ damage, and causing them gangrene, getting them amputated, forcing people into homelessness. They're causing me strokes right now. Shoving drugs down people's throats, little kids, raping women, impregnating them, aborting their kids, destroying their ovaries. They're murdering men. These are psychopaths. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists talking inside my head. They are talking inside of my fucking head. Do you hear me? And they're causing me a stroke because they wanted me to focus my attention on somebody that is in a group that I am in, that I entertain, okay, or that I am a part of, and not focus on the fact that there are terrorists screaming in my fucking head, murdering me. There are a bunch of fucking psychopath rapists. They want me focused on a guy in a group that I'm involved in. And they're mad that I'm making this video and not thinking about, oh, he likes me, or I should like. They're psycho. The women are fucking straight trash. Do you hear me? They're murdering me and they want to refocus my energy. They're murdering me and they want me focused on some guy that can't save my fucking life. They're talking in my fucking head. Do you hear me? Rather than to explain to people who know that they're behind the weapon, that want to prosecute them. They think I'm the terrorists talking in my head think I'm stupid. I want them sentenced to death. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. They're causing me a stroke. I can't even, they're causing me a stroke right now. One of them is laughing in my head. They're women. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. They're murdering me. They're serial killers. Do you hear me? They're stupid psycho trash. Do you understand me? They don't want me explaining because there are people that want to prosecute them and sentence them to death. Beyonce being one, Drake being another, Obama being one, Michelle Obama, Donald Trump. I mean, the entire, everybody that knows about these weapons that these terrorists are using wants these hookers sentenced to death. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. And I know they know. And I know they want them sentenced to death. And these stupid psycho terrorist bitches don't want me explaining that I hear them in my head, because that's exactly what they want to. That's exactly what the government needs to. This is the evidence they need to prosecute these psychos. They want me focused on a guy who while I'm dying, while they're murdering me and my daughter. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. On my drive home from where I was right now, they wanted me to discuss and think about and be so stupid and blissful. Like the guy that we're talking about, it doesn't matter how I feel. I have to put all my feelings aside. And it's not even feelings. This is a yearning to live, not a yearning for this guy. I'm yearning to live my life and not be murdered. I'm scared that I'm going to fucking be murdered by Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. A yearning to get them sentenced to fucking death. I want them sentenced to fucking death. Do you hear me? I want them sentenced to death. A yearning to scream and cry with people over the pain I feel. I want them sentenced to death, please.